go. Here we go. Let's get our lives together. Hey, Pirates is live. All right. Okay, now it's going to repeat it 2 or 3 times. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I forgot I had the volume up on the other one. On the monitoring one. How's everybody doing tonight? Say hi in the chat, please. Please, please. Just getting some stuff together while waiting for other people to jump on. 4, welcome, welcome. Nice to see everyone. We got a big hole in it. Cottonmouth, what's up, buddy? Southern Mississippi, welcome. Nice to see you, bud. Yeah, that'll do. Not the greatest wrapper. Good gracious. Kind of terrible. Let's see what else. Ooh, look, that one's even worse. Not the prettiest wrapper, that's for sure. Tastes amazing. It's San Andreas. I think maybe I will take this one. I can work around that little hole. Bloop. Yeah, said, hey, welcome everyone. We're just doing a little prep work while we're waiting for some other folks or some more folks to join the fun festivities tonight. Should be an interesting night for sure. Hopefully it'll be as awesome as last week was, and the week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that. Just keeps getting better and better. All right, here's some 2 San Andreas wrappers. It's back in the fancy case and bag. Man, 46. Wow, that jumped fast. Good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome. Please say hello in the chat. That would be great. Yeah, I got a coffee going too, Cottonmouth. 'Tis my favorite. All right, this should be Corojo. I'm gonna wrap a couple in Corojo tonight and a couple in Barbecue Mikey. What's up, brother? How you doing? Man, look how pretty that Corojo wrapper is. It's got some bruising in it, but a little over moisturized, but I think she'll be fine. All right. As soon as we hit 100, we will get underway, if y'all know what I mean. Appreciate y'all stopping by. It's going to be awesome. I'd like to, thank everybody, and please introduce yourselves in the chat. Stay, hang out, have fun, ask questions. If you have a question about something I'm doing, by all means, ask. Ask. And if I don't know the answer, I will find out and post it in the community. 1 Corojo wrapper. 2 Corojo wrappers. What? Fancy case and back and go. Wow, 128. Hello from Fort Worth. Navy Man 05. How are you, sir? I am Navy, might as well. Cigars. YouTube gets real finicky about the green stuff, so we just don't. Although I know there's a lot of interest in that. That is not what I do here. Augusta, nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, no worries. Give me this guy. Pull out the fancy bag here. Mark, what's up, bro? How you doing? And another day in paradise with almost no humidity. It is so low. Kerf, thank you so much. Atlanta, nice to see you. Whew, we usually like this number to be in the 60s, but that is not what the cards have dealt us this evening. But fortunately, there's a big humidifier behind me, and it's pumping humidity at us. So we'll just work our way through nice and slow. At 2:30, outstanding. All right, let's get rolling, guys and gals. Start with the Corojo wrapper. It's so pretty. Nice and spicy, a little smoky, a little bit of subtle sweetness too. Great flavor. A little over a year. Callahan, Florida. Nice to see you, Dark Luna. Thank you so much. Doing good. How about you? Try here, my wrappers. Yeah, dude, they drive so fast. I'm doing really good. It's been a wild day. I don't know if anybody noticed, but there is a new button down in the chat. Only, I guess it would be here for you guys. Michigan. Brian, nice to see you. All right, let's take this beautiful Corojo wrapper and put it over top of one of these beauties. These are 46 ring gauge. It's a brand new blend we've been playing with. It's Honduran and Dominican and Cameroon with a Dominican binder. Powhatan, nice. I see somebody from the 804. Powhatan, I'm in Montpelier. Melbourne, nice to see you. Good morning. Doing pretty good, Brian. No complaints at all. Yeah, dude, it opened up a ton after 1,000. There a lot of things have changed since. No, I'm in Virginia. A lot of things have changed since that night. As you can see, it's got all kinds of new fun stuff at the bottom. So we're gonna play with this and see what happens. This Corojo is a little bit underhydrated for my taste, but we will be fine. I'm very sorry to hear about your mom. Oh, cool. Thank you. You're the first person to do that. That is awesome. First off, let's see how long these dudes are. How long did our bunches get? 6 1/4. That's perfect. So we'll make them 5 3/4. Call these Corona Gordas. All right, get that out of the way. Wow, thank you. I have no idea what those mean, but that is so awesome. Pritchard 44429. Thank you so much. You get like I said, y'all get the honor of being the first ones able to actually do stuff like that. That's kind of neat. I'm glad it kind of did. Shoot. This is the problem with the Corojo, with this specific bunch of Corojo wrapper. It tears very, very easily. I don't know. And don't do that on here. Some of these wrappers are kind of short too, which makes it even harder. Just trying to roll these longer cigars. That Corojo came from WLT a while back. I did a project for a buddy of mine it's still summertime, and he wanted them wrapped in Corojo. So we did them up. That's the first time I rolled torpedoes. Block Boy, hello. Why do I need to wrap them? Well, the truth is the binder itself, because there's already got a full leaf on it. It's wrapped up on it to hold the bunch together. The bunch is individual tubes of leaves rolled up. I'll show you those. I believe it's the Corojo wrapper. I think is Ecuadorian. So the bunch will expand as you, I mean, you can perfectly smoke this as it is, but the bunch will expand quite a bit. One of the big things the wrapper does is it adds an extra layer of flavor, and it also makes it look prettier, and it keeps everything tight together and won't let it loosen up. It'll let it really, it'll expand some, but not much. What do you think? Should we get out the stainless steel for these 4 little tiny ones to wrap up? Sure does make a prettier job. Oh, very, very, very delicate and yet tough, which is so wild. So we switched to the longer San Andreas wrapper. That's a little bit less humidified, but that'll be fine. And deal with that. No problema. Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, no, like I said, YouTube frowns upon that, so we try not to do anything about that. They tend to, if the AI sees that content, then it tends to block that particular video. So we try our best not to talk about it. It happens. It's not a big deal. Yep. Once it starts to dry, it's done. It's just dried. You got to start all over again. I tend to give it a little tug, just the tiniest little bit of a tug. The paste is called, a vegetable gum called Bermcall. Where do you make cigars? Jake, I do because it's kind of fun. It's relaxing. It's entertaining. And I like to roll. I do some events too, which is kind of fun. Get to roll for people live and people that may have never seen the process before. In my whole life, about 1,500 in the last 14 months or so, 13, 14 months. Some of those were in larger times. I mean, the first few months, I only rolled a couple, so it wasn't that big a deal. And then it really took off. I think so. We're working on that. We're working on that. It's something we don't have the proper licensing to do it right now, so we don't. We don't sell these. We wish we could, but we don't. So right now, this is just for entertainment purposes and education, of course. If you have questions, I'll be happy to ask. McFaddy, nice to see you. Puerto Rico, how's it going? Got some of y'all cigars in my humidor. Absolutely amazing tobacco, amazing people, amazing food. The wrap is another piece of tobacco called, this is San Andreas. It's Mexican. In the San Andreas Valley of Mexico. And it is really, see how, that's how dry it is. And I can't even get the caps to stick. It's going to be an interesting night. We're probably just going to end up having to bind. Close to Ireland. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. We actually will be doing something similar to a backwoods, but not quite. Man, I'm having a heck of a time with these wrappers tonight. It is nuts. Fortunately, we have others, so we can just keep on going. Not a big deal. Can you explain why Cuban cigars are illegal in Yanksville? It's quite simple. Our government was very displeased with some things that the Castro regime was doing, and human rights violations and a bunch of other things. So in an effort to squelch that, they put an embargo against Cuban products. And that would be political, and it's one of those things we try to avoid. Politics are so weird. You hear, what do cigars recommend for a new smoker? Things with light wrappers is usually the best place to start. Something with San Cristobal or Ashton. But the biggest thing is don't spend too much money on your first cigar. $10 or $12 is about it. How big are they? This one, it will be it's finished will be 5 3/4 inches long is the goal. 5 3/4 inches long. Definitely got some dry wrapper tonight, folks. And it is, you're asking how big it is. It'll be 5 3/4 inches long, and it is 46/64 of an inch around. All right, let's go again. See if we can get this thing to actually stick good this time. Might have to go a little deeper. That's okay too. I don't mind that. Yes, they are. They are very good starters. Like I said, look for things with light colored wrappers to start. But the biggest thing to do is if you go to an actual cigar store and you tell the person behind the counter that this was your first cigar or you're just getting into it, they'll be able to direct you in the right direction. They'll ask you questions about, do you like coffee? Do you like, if you drink a whiskey or a bourbon or a rum, what do you like? They'll ask you questions like that. And those are the questions that really you can hone down what people will potentially like in a cigar. Oh, I missed the Corona one. The Corona in England, about €10. Have you heard of them? I've heard of the size of the Corona, but that's it. That's actually one of my favorites. And tequila does wonderful. Tequila is a nice one too. You do a lot of pairings with tequila. Usually tequila, whiskey, rum, and coffee are the go-tos for pairings. And based on what the cigar is how strong. Pound fella, okay. Nope, we are not. All right, and there is number one. Finally, only took 3 wrappers to get there, but we got there. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right. Move on to the next one. These might all get wrapped in San Andreas. Macanudo, Portofinos. What? Shoot, I missed it. Which end do you cut? The end that you saw me put the little tab on the top. That's good. The best cigars I've had are hand rolled in Key West. Yeah, I know. We went to Ybor over the summer, and we had an absolute blast. I smoked some cigars that were just blew my mind, and they were all hand rolled right there in the store. I think that's really where it's at for me personally, is the smaller boutique cigars, not the big factory ones. Factory ones have their place, and I have humidors full of them. Not full of them. That sounds egotistical or arrogant. They're not full. I have a selection of what I like, and what I have found that I like. This one, we got a shot. Suggestions for coffee. I tend to like a dark roast. Does nicotine leach? Yes, it does. Good question. Yes, the nicotine will leach into my skin. That it will. So I am quite careful that the moment I'm done with wrapping, or the moment I'm done wrapping or creating new cigars, I go wash my hands. It's not a big deal. I mean, I roll every day and I smoke every day, so just have to not over. Boy, it's slipping. Live in Tampa. Step up in the Cigar David Edwards pipes and tobacco. Oh, right on. Cold brew is good too. Yeah. Nice. 6. Come on now. Pay attention. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to watch the chat and do this and pay a little bit of attention for a minute. This wrapper's really dry. There we go. I'm going to have to reach in another bag and get another wrapper, something that's longer and more humidified. This is not going to fly tonight. What'll happen if you just take a bite off of it without wrapping it? It'll start to fall apart. The temperature and humidity in the room. I like to keep the humidity up when I'm rolling. I like it to be around 60%, but we are nowhere near that. And we got this one here, and then this one is a backup. I don't know if you guys can see that one, and you can see it's 45. That's very low for my taste, but we'll get through it. That's why I'm just fighting with the wrappers so much. The same problem I had last week. It's just so dry here. We've had so much snow. Tequila, I honestly don't know. I don't know what what a good pairing for tequila is. I don't know much about tequila. Smoke cigars after a big meal. Yeah, hey, totally get that. Totally get that. That's one of my favorite times to smoke too is after a big meal. I will smoke a stronger cigar if it's a big heavy meal, a big steak or a big pork chop or something like that. It's in Tennessee and great tobacco. Oh, nice. What kind of tobacco did you grow, Tammy? Cigars, Alex. And me be in a box or something. I hear you, Cody. These are the only flavor that is in these are the natural flavors of the oils of the tobaccos. Don't roll flavored or infused cigars. It's not something I do. Not something I'm into. It has its place. And strangely enough, that is something else that YouTube frowns upon. And that's okay too. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep it very PG-13. And well, this is not a PG-13 item. I do a traditional Cuban, a traditional triple, Robertson County, dark fire capital of the world. Checking in. Very cool. Right on. Elijah, nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Kenya, nice to see you. Alex, it's Django, nice to see you. Tammy. Oh, nice. That's always the fun part it's not really a fun part. Grading is tedious, but you learn the tobacco very well. It's something I do when I get a fresh batch in. I'll pull the whole bag apart and grade it out, keep the best stuff, and then go from there as needed. A nice little cap on that one. Well, I could turn the humidifier and point it towards me, but it looks like there's smoke. Like Pearl Maduro, very good cigar on that very says. Nice, good to know. Yeah, they have a lot of lingo. Strangely enough, a lot of lingo. They have names for everything. It's kind of it's like any other lifestyle or names for everything. We like it. It's all fun and games. Some people take it real seriously. I not really. And I take a lot of it seriously, but not enough to be like, oh my gosh, I'm offended that they said that. I don't care. Everybody's got to start somewhere. Nobody knows everything. Tobacco and cigars. Any examples of what? Rochoa? Sorry, chat, clicking by pretty quick. An example out of curiosity. Every Thursday night at 7:00, Devo. I really appreciate it. Thank you for asking. Oh, the lingo. Sorry. Okay, the thing you saw me do on the end here. This is a cap. And because there is 1, 2, 3 lines, that makes it a triple cap, which is traditional Cuban. Let's see. These they were called cap cutters. They cut the very top cap. And man, for the life of me, the name is slipping me right now. It has a full name. Oh, I wish I could. Oh, awesome. Demo, thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed, please, if you would not mind, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate it greatly if you did. That would be awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, we're going to give another one of these Corojos a try. If this one fails, then we'll punt and start binding. Raleigh. Right on. A lot of good tobacco down there in North Carolina. Soup, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Devo, it can be hard or it can be easy or it can be somewhere in the middle. It just depends. Rolling is a hobby for me right now, but we're working on some other things. We've got some things in the mix that will hopefully expand this from just a hobby into a side biz. That would be cool. It's the ultimate goal. I mean, I'm not going to get rich off this. I already know that. But if I can share some knowledge and have a little fun and get to smoke some awesome cigars with good people, that's pretty much a win in my book. Is that all on the leaf, to be honest? Yes. Oh, no way, dude. Let me cut this big old fat bean out of here. See if I can get it out without tearing the whole wrapper up. Look. That's all right. It's gone. Struggling with the humidity tonight. This Corojo wrapper has such fat veins in it. It's almost impossible to get a pretty smooth one without doing the squishy squish. I'm breaking out the roller. I'm filling it with other tobacco. And Solomon, they get a little, some if you answer this, what's it? I guess it can be. I mean, that's kind of what Fronto is, I guess, or Graba. So yeah, I guess it could be. There's your answer. So be a man of your word. Cigars should look really well made to me. We're working on it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I do not disagree with you. Do not. I am right there with you. Yeah, these are really, really fighting tonight. It's just so dry. All right, we can get this dude wrapped. We'll switch gears and start bunching cigars that I don't need nearly as much humidity for. Yes, I agree. When you really it gets warm. Sometimes, yes, I do. I do use some of the scraps for pipe tobacco, but I also roll short filler cigars with them, or Cuban sandwich style, where you put a whole leaf inside and then put a bunch of short filler in it. That tends to work pretty well. I kind of let those dry for quite a while. I got maybe a few hundred of those stuck in a box down under my desk here. I'm in my rolling table. Got some cool things coming this summer. Make a how-to for people to, yes, absolutely. I most definitely would, Devo. That's something you'd like to, hey, thanks for the high five. Hey, Jesus, I appreciate that. Yes, I will actually do that if that's something you guys want to see. You wanted to get rich. I would love what it is and do it. Basically set up a cigar outside. That's true. Most of the foreign countries are doing that already, though. Honestly, my ultimate goal is to be able to do this for fun and be able to supply the tobacco to other rollers like myself right now. It's a resource that's very limited. Only a couple of spots on the internet where you can actually pick it up. And one of them is not doing cigar tobacco anymore. No, I can't actually feel the hit from rolling. But if I smoke too much and roll in one day, then yeah, I can definitely feel it. These are not pretty. Yeah, no doubt. Well, thank you, Marlon. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, you can. You are more than welcome to try to inhale one of these. It is you'll do it once, and then you'll go, oh, now I see why. These are not unlike the small white ones that you get in the boxes from the big manufacturers. These have no chemicals in them, nothing else, just tobacco and a little bit of vegetable gum. Hey, Jesus, thank you. Or is it Jesus? Sorry. I never know. Met a gentleman a few weeks back. His when he sent me a text, it came up as Jorge or Jorge. When I came to find out, called himself George. And I almost felt like a butt, but I didn't because I asked him how he pronounced his name first. Put that over there. All right, guys, it's so dry in here. We're going to just rock and roll and do some bunching. Move these dudes out the way. Them dudes over there. Start making cigars as a hobby. Not very much. Maybe we'll just conservatively say if you bought a kit and then some very basic tools. I mean, you need like one of these to cut the ends. You don't need this fancy thing from the factory. This one is from the late 1800s. I absolutely adore it. It's one of my, but you can use this. It's just a double guillotine cutter to cut the ends. A pair of scissors, a little bit of glue, and you can use vegetable stuff or whatever you can make. Can I make one a foot long? The longest one I've ever done is about 8 inches, and that was a feat. All right, let's get some tobacco out and get at it here. Roll. We use this as a cigar mold. It's not terribly old, but old enough. And what we're going to shoot for with these is Robustos. They are 5 inches by 50 ring gauge. So 50/64ths of an inch around and 5 inches long. I set my bunch a 1/2 inch longer just so that I can have a little extra to cut off. Appreciate that. Legend, do you sell them? I wish I was a legend. No, I don't sell them yet. A little over a year, been making cigars. Yes, very, very different. Some of the best smelling tobacco, in my opinion, that would be Dominican Olor. That is my favorite. Sorry, I got sidetracked. You could probably get in and get started for under $100. And you'd be able to roll probably 20 or 30 cigars for that $100 investment. And if you figure you go to a brick and mortar, you're going to pay anywhere between 10 and the sky's the limit for cigars. So if I can roll one for $2 or $3, I think that's a win in my opinion. So less than $100. Don't let Cuba find out. That's correct, Silence. Hello, New Zealand. Nice to see you. Yeah, Merc, you're about right. $100 or $200. You buy yourself a kit for $50. Yeah, exactly. So under $100. And the Solomon, that is very true. That is very true. Growing it is not the hard part. Curing it and fermenting it is the challenging part. That is as much art as it is science. You're essentially controlling the decomposition of the plant. I think you can see that these have been roughly fermented by the change in the colors. They dried this color, but then they got a little bit darker. I don't need that. Sorry, it takes a second to get all this fun stuff set up. But that's okay too. 700, wow. Not challenging getting it right. I just need to clear my throat. Just getting over a sinus infection too, which of course is never fun. I realize that one's outside of your view. So I've got 4 tobaccos out right now. One. This one is the Dominican Viso. It's from the middle of the plant. It's a little bit stronger flavor, a little bit more body. This is the Criollo. This is also the Dominican. And it's Seco, so it's from the lower part of the plant. It gives combustion. This one over here is the as an Olor Ligero. So it is from the top of the plant. It is the strongest plant there is, strongest part of the plant. Yes, they're very edible. Probably not tasted very good, but. And then over here we have the Seco, another Seco. So 2 Secos. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 Secos, 2 Visa. 2 Secos, a Viso, and a Ligero. Nope, I'm still wrong. It's a Seco, 2 Visos, and a Ligero. There we go. Are you eating some of the timber chips? Are you using the stream in the background? All right. That's some Piloto Cubano binder. This is your first wrapper, so to speak. These are about right where I want them for binder. They're a little greasy, a little oily, a little bit moist, but not terrible. I don't like my binders to be super hydrated, or cased is the term that we use. All right, time to create number 1. Here we go. Now, this center vein, if it's nice, see how curly it is? I will take them out if they're super curly. No, you can grow as much tobacco as you want, but you can only grow in Virginia. I don't know any other state. In Virginia, you can grow up to 0.9 of an acre before you're considered a commercial grow operation. And believe me, 0.9 of an acre is a lot of tobacco. You can pack it in there. And you figure the planting rate is 2 to 3 foot wide rows at 1 to 2 feet apart. Or 1.5. Man, that one tore. All right. I got to focus here for a second, guys. Start to tear up tobacco, and that's just not cool. Come on, let's get to $1,000. Hey, guys, if you wouldn't mind, please hit subscribe. That would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. It truly helps the channel grow. That's how we got here. So what kind of seeds? Tobacco seeds? There's a lot of companies. Check out Etsy. There's a lot of companies selling tobacco seeds on Etsy. A lot. Goes super tall and falls. David, that is correct. We are bunching cigars. All right. Now what I do is I go find the Ligero. This to be the strongest, slowest burning with the most oil. And place it towards the center of the bunch. And the others, lay them in there as necessary till it feels like it's the correct ring gauge in my hand. We take risks in everything we do, whether it's walking to the mailbox, going to work, going out to dinner. It's just a choice we make as humans. And I respect everyone's choice. We only get to go around this thing one time, so we might as well enjoy ourselves as much as humanly possible. I've had a little bit of practice. Thank you. I intend to roll quite a few tonight. All right, there is our first bunch. Pretty as you please. Now, what I'm feeling for here is you can see it kind of dives off where the bunch stops, and that's where I want to cut it. And I've got this set to the length I want my bunches to be. I'm going to turn it around, cut the tip off, and remember we have a 1/2 inch longer than we wanted. Where'd my scissors go? Hit them for myself. Gotcha. The wax is actually not wax. It's a vegetable glue or vegetable gum called Bermacol. It is tasteless, odorless, and leaves no impressions behind. All right, first one going in the mold. Oh, that's perfect. Nice, beautiful, beautiful. And as you can see, we generate the scrap, and these become short filler. Med and Can, nice to see you. Jojo, thank you so much. That's awesome. Please stay, and we're gonna roll up a hole. I intend to fill this mold up tonight. 1.2 thousand. That's fantastic, man. That's amazing. Like I said, I appreciate if you guys would hit the subscribe button. It's fantastic. Like I said, it helps the channel grow. Doesn't cost y'all anything, and really helps me. Every little bit helps. This tobacco here is Dominican. It's mostly Dominican. There's a little bit of Nicaraguan, but there are 4 varietals on the table, 4 different ones. I tend to blend like that. I want you guys to see how thick this leaf is. This is a Ligero leaf. It is very thick, and it'll burn very slowly. So what we're going to do is make sure that this is towards the center. See the difference in that color and say, oops, this color. Huge difference. Tony Soprano? Yes, Dominican for sure. All right, we're going to do this the right way. Oh, thank you so much. I'm in Virginia. That's why you don't want an even burn. No, they actually do it with the Ligero in the middle. It burns the slowest. It's the thickest. It has the most oil in it, so it tends to burn very slow. So we surround it with tobacco that burns better than it does. That's if you ever see someone smoking a cigar and it's got a kind of a cone point on it like that at the top. That's the Ligero in the middle. Just burning it a little slow. And believe me, you don't want that stuff burning fast. Onto B56. Manila. Aha, that's a good question, and I don't know the answer to that one about which one she smoked. Rotterdam, Argentina, Edinburgh. Fantastic. Where can you get those? These, unfortunately, you can't get because I do not have the proper licensing, and this is just for fun and education. Actually, as thick as that is, I'm just going to put half in there. That is really thick. I'm going to try to make sure it ends up in a tube. Brazil. I have lived very close to Philip Morris in the past. I do not at the moment. I live probably a solid 45 minutes to an hour from the 95 facility at Maury Street. I'm not Maury Street, but Commerce Road. Somewhere around, if I just use one specific leaf as the filler, depending on the size, anywhere between 20 and 50, depending on the size of the leaf. That's if I use just that one, but using 4 of them, I can get, using several different filler types, I can get quite a few more. Quite a few more. Beautiful. What I'm doing with the center, that's a great question, actually. Gonzalez, that is a, sorry, I couldn't barely catch your name as it screamed by. You can't roll them up together like that. I don't. You can. It's called bookending. I don't do that. I think it creates a tight draw. But what you're doing is when you make each roll up each leaf, you're creating essentially a straw that runs all the way through the cigar, so that the air will breathe through it even after you pop it in this press and squeeze it real hard. Yes, beautiful. All right, on to the next one. Brasilia. Okay. Great. Wow. Interested immigrated from Foxburg, West Virginia, from Scotland. Oh, nice. I got family in West Virginia, over near Sod. Pakistan, nice to see you. Bulgaria. I got a buddy that lives in Bulgaria. Actually, probably my oldest friend in the world. The all-time favorite cigar? That's a tough question. Utah. I don't really have a favorite. I like a lot of different cigars. No, I wish I could. They're just for personal use right now and for entertainment purposes. I don't really have a favorite. It just depends on whatever I'm thinking about that day. That will truly dictate the cigar that I smoke. Omar, nice to see you. South of France, Poland, Sweden. Fantastic, guys. That's awesome. South Australia. Well, it's all tobacco. Every piece of it is tobacco. You think about Connecticut's? I like Connecticut's. I like Connecticut's with a little strength, though. You need a little extra for me personally. Yes, I have tried Gurkhas. The ones I have smoked, I did enjoy. I do a lot more hand motions than I need to do, but it's just how the process works for me personally. You would tend to, as you do this, you tend to develop your own style, for lack of a better term, and pattern as to how you wrap and roll. Albania, Malaysia, awesome. I'm on the range, Kansas. Yes, you can roll a cigar from a single type of tobacco leaf. We call those puritos. They're what we use for blend testing. There's a video that I shot a couple of days ago. Actually, it was Tuesday. And it was pretty short. It's only like 6 minutes, but it goes through my process of blending, and you can see that I rolled some puritos there of the individual leaves that I was blending with. Found a piece of steel for the model. That's personal. The tighter or not, that's I like a looser draw personally. I don't like a heavy, tight draw. The piece of steel, talking about this thing. Well, it's turn of the century, probably 1900 or so. I got it on an auction from eBay, and I don't know where it came. I mean, it came from Pennsylvania. That's where I bought it from. But what I was told was it spent so much time in Ebor. First experience with tobacco is the easiest to roll with, and which tastes the best, if that's a proper term, while you're smoking. The easiest leaf to roll with that I've ever used, it's got to be the Dominican Olor. It is usually very forgiving. It bends well, and you got it hydrated nicely on a filler. And as far as binder, which is what we're doing now with the top leaves here, my favorite binder is either Piloto, which is a Dominican, or Sumatran. I do smoke, yes. I smoke a couple of these dudes every single day. Thank you. Hi, Tiny Blonde. How you be? Regulator has arrived. I don't make cigarettes. I make cigars. I smoked cigarettes for many, many years and stopped. I roll what they call short filler cigars or Cuban sandwich style cigars. Nothing goes to waste, not a single piece. The stems that you see me pull out, I've got a bucket to my left that I keep those. I use it. I use all the scrap. I use every piece of it. This little, like I said, the stems I pull out and they go in my compost pile for when we're using building fertilizers to grow tobacco with, or vegetables, or whatever we happen to be growing. We try not to waste anything. Hey, be nice, folks. Yes, it can be very, very calming. Have you made meatloaf? Yeah. Oh, Talon, that is an excellent, excellent question. All right, I will give you the 60,000 foot view of this lovely flame tattoo that lives on my arm. Let me get this leaf in here real quick. Kind of have to focus. All right. The time in my life that I was a very angry person. A very angry person. I just lived an angry life. I was angry a lot of times, a lot of fighting, a lot of yelling, and had an incident where I lost control of my temper. It's something I spent a lot of years trying to figure out and work on. But the day that it happened, I went and called my tattoo artist. And I said, brother, I need a set of flames around my wrist. He said, okay. And then I told him, I said, they remind me every day that I walk on this planet to keep my anger and my rage in check, because they're not a good part. They're just who I am. Oh, Gonzalez, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. How many different kinds? I made a cigar today. It was very okay. You don't need coffee when you cigar. I mean, can. I usually roll. I've got 7 different blends that I tend to switch back and forth with, and I've worked on over the last year. 2 of them are very nicely done, and they don't need any more changes. So out of the 7 I've created, 2 of them are ready for production, and the other 5 are still, well, 2 of them were okay, but I didn't really love them, so I didn't make those anymore. But yeah, I got 2 that are in constant production here. Well, these, what it costs me per cigar, depending on the filler leaf, somewhere between $3 and $8, depending on the filler leaf and the binder. Now, if I put a Connecticut wrapper on it, it gets a lot more expensive very fast. The Connecticut wrappers are around $100 for a pound of them, and you get about 80 in a pound if you're lucky, and you're going to lose 20% of those off the top. Oh, well, thank you, Nathan. I appreciate you stopping by. PNW is a good guy. I like him. He's doing his own thing. I'm doing mine. I like that. Try not to get in each other's way, and he does him, I do me. Everything's groovy. I like peace. I've spent enough of my life at battle. One flavor or another. Uh-oh. It's a short binder. This one's going to be interesting. Apologize for having to reach off camera to get the... It made like 45 minutes. It was so tender. Oh, nice, kid. Nice. Yeah, roughly $100 a pound, if you can find it. But you're talking about true Connecticut shade, not stuff that's Ecuador, not stuff that's grown in Ecuador. This cup right here, no, it's a vegetable gum called Bermcol. It's flavorless and odorless. Doesn't add anything to the cigar. Doesn't take anything away. Just helps it stick together. Flavors are crucial. Shit, sorry, I missed that. Aha! Whoa, did I miss fish? Shoot. A bunch of paperwork and a bunch of money. Hey, Fish, nice to see you, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that, my man. We'll learn in a few minutes from now. It's the only way. Right on. Depends. If I have the option of really taking my time, I'll use a soft flame lighter. But if I'm in more of a hurry up and get it lit, I'll use a torch. It's $1.58. I grow barley in Virginia and Cavendish for pipes. Wind destroys the wrappers. Yep, that's true. Wind is never our friend when it comes to growing. Trying to make sure I stay in the screen. Currently, I am using a mixture of Dominican and Nicaraguan tobaccos. This is one of those blends I make quite often. It just works for me. There are places online that I get my tobacco from. Pretty easy Google search. None of them are sponsoring me, so I try not to mention their names. Not to mention it counts as advertising, and that can get me in trouble too. Yes, there is quite a bit of work that goes into making a cigar, but it's so worth it in the end. Knowing exactly what went in it, what ratio, how much of what was where. I like that. And I like the fiddliness of it. It's also very repetitive, which is good for my brain. Yes, I do smoke them. And I'd love to have some of that burley from earlier. Cut last year's Virginia back to 2 notes, and it only grows half Coronas. Parker, thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Nice to see you, my man. I had to recommend a cigar. Woo! That's a tough call. The biggest reason I don't like to recommend cigars is if I pick something and you go get it and don't like it, then you'll blame me. So I'll give you the same advice that I give everybody that asks that question. If you've got a brick and mortar cigar store near you, go in there and talk to the man behind the counter. The man or woman, it could be one behind the counter too. And that is what they do. They point people towards their first cigars. No, I don't. You make a smooth one? I will make a smooth one shortly. We were having some issues with humidity today, so we decided to just bunch. But we've got a couple more we can try to wrap. No, Parker's got jokes. No, we do not sell them. My voice is rough tonight, isn't it? I have no idea, Parker. That's right, the enforcer. Not cigar smoke, no. You will once or twice, and then you won't do it again. How did you know there was a dog? Can you hear her behind me? Her name is Hannah. And she is a sweet old lady. She likes to hang out in the cigar room. She's got a big bucket of water over here for the humidifier it's distilled, so it's very, very clean, and she absolutely adores it. We are growing some this year. I grew Tennessee Red last year. with a relatively decent amount of success. We had 21 plants, and I got about 10 pounds of dried leaf. So I was pretty happy with that. It is currently in a large container waiting for springtime so I can ferment it. Maybe we'll stick a whole one in here. My motto in life, live every day, enjoy every day. If I had one. Yes, correct. Aw. All right. This one's not going to require much. She's almost on the money. That actually feels pretty good. We'll put this half on top. And I'm going to put a little bit more right here. Foot felt kind of soft. The biggest thing when you're rolling these is paying attention to the way the cigar bunch feels in your fingers. What you don't want to do is have a big soft spot in it. Any good brands you recommend that I can order? We need to try some. Big Brain, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next week. We're here every Thursday. An age is a month smoking next. Yep, exactly. 82 tobacco plants. I'm sorry. It was a gift. My lovely wife got them for me. Because again, that was when I really first started rolling. She was like, "Let's try to grow some." I was like, "I'm in, sold," and we did, and it was fun. It grows so fast from such a tiny seed. 2502. Hi, nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Nice. 700 folks. That's fantastic. Rides 49. Nice to see you. Hello. Welcome. You have any questions, kick them out in the chat. We'll be happy to do our best to answer them. Oh, you had your first one in Key West? Nice. What's good about Tennessee Red? I don't know. It's still, like I said, I haven't fermented it yet. I know it grew really cool, and it's some huge leaves. Absolutely huge leaves. Yeah, it kind of grew like a broadleaf. Just these, the leaves were, I think the longest one was like 24 inches long and about 12 and a half, maybe 13 inches wide. It was a beast. And when it dried up, it was about this big. I'm like, oh. No, you can inhale it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Love how cigars are made. Well, that's perfectly fine. I can appreciate the fact that you can appreciate the craft and time it takes to make these. Gives a whole new, first time you roll one yourself, you really truly realize how much time and effort. I have had wrappers mold, but never because of letting them stay in the casing bag too long. But mine don't stay in the casing bag long. Maybe 3 or 4 days at the most. I roll a lot. Freddie, excellent question. Yes, there are a few different ways to bunch and wrap a cigar. What I am doing is the more traditional called entubado, which is tube, essentially. And you see I rolled it up into a tube. Then you stack those tubes up, and you have a collection of tubes. And then there's another one called estrujado, or lazy entubado. That's more of an accordion method. I will take, when I get the stem out of this leaf, I'll do this one accordion so you can see the difference. The stems can make it bitter, so I try to take them out. Not to mention they don't burn real well. All right, I did say I was going to do this. Estrujado. All right. You see it's hard because I don't actually do this. It's an accordion. You kind of fold it like that and then fold it back on itself. So it's like a Z. And that's an accordion. Yeah, plume is an interesting creature. That's true. They do not pull the stems out. I have heard that before too. What do you feel smoking? Do you get happy? For me, cigar smoking is about forcing myself to slow down for an hour where I can focus on, I just don't turn everything else off. Usually about a week. I can wait a week or so. 2 is better, depending on the humidity in the room. But like I said, for me, it's about the relaxation, the ritual, the forcing of the slowing down. We all live life pretty fast, and it's one of those things that forces you to just take a moment and breathe. You can't rush it. You can't go fast. You have to just stop and rest and relax. The best cigars are what you choose personally, what you actually like. Say the same thing I've said a couple of times. If you're new to cigars and you're not really sure what you like, find a local brick and mortar store, find a cigar store that's near you, go in and talk to the person behind the counter. Absolutely. That's what they do. That's what they love to do. It is a glue. It's a vegetable gum called Bermcol. It is odorless and tasteless. Adds nothing. Just helps the leaves stick together. Yes, I love the taste of cigars, and I blend towards more towards taste and aroma. Yes, pectin will rot. It will spoil, kind of like milk. It stinks. But once again, I don't have stuff that sits around that long. I roll every single day, trying to build this collection and become a better roller over and over again. Thank you, Blonde. I appreciate that. Stay on top of it, girly. Yeah, that's why we had some issues last week. That video got changed, but that's okay. It's okay. It was the largest stream we'd ever had. And it was fantastic. 2 or 3 usually. Ooh, well, I have rolled, let's see, about 1,500, including short filler, and my collection is another 500 on top of that. So we'll say total cigars in the room, in the humidor right now is, I'm going to be generous and say 1,000. Chase, that's the wrong person to talk shit about, bro. That's my daughter. That one will get you booted quick. Do they expire? If you don't keep them humidified, what ends up happening is they really dry out. And because of all the oils that are in each leaf, as they completely dry out, the oil essentially evaporates. And I mean, it'll still burn. You can still smoke it. It's just not going to have any flavor at all, or just the tiniest little bit. Liz, boot chase. Thank you, babe. Yeah, to a certain degree, if they sit long enough without being humidified, like I said, all the oils come out of it, and then you're just left with a bland, flavorless thing. No, Kush, I wish I could. This is for entertainment and education. That is almost perfect the way it is. Now, what I'm feeling for with this bunch, you see me keep squeezing and manipulating it. I'm trying to remember, I have a feeling in my hand of what it's going to feel like when it goes in the mold. So I'm aiming for this consistent size. And I'm kind of looking up at this, thinking, all right, that's about right. Or it needs a little bit more, or something's a little soft. And that actually should be just about right. Yeah, usually a coffee. I like to drink coffee. I will have a nice scotch once in a while, but it is quite rare. I am not a big drinker anymore. Yeah, the standing joke is I drank till I wasn't thirsty anymore. Oh, thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate that. Trying my best to keep up with the chat, guys. Yes, indeed, Pumpkin. Yes, indeed. We've been through some leaf getting these done. So I got 2 more in this set. 883. I smoked my first cigar probably 1993. That's awesome. And then I kind of didn't for a while. And then my wife and I went on vacation. We went to Jamaica for a week, and I smoked a Cuban. I hadn't smoked a cigar in years, probably 10 years. And I remembered how awesome it was. And I came home and watched a bunch of videos and came across another roller that's on here I admire greatly. I learned about 90% of what I know watching his videos. And figured, why not? I'll give it a try. Asked for a little kit for Christmas. Dominican. It's a toss between Dominican and Honduran, his favorite origins. Like Honduran, Puerto Rican. Serious question: what's the point of smoking a cigar if you don't inhale? Oh, believe me, dude, you get just as much nicotine not inhaling it. Sorry, Mrs. Sweaty Palms. You get just as much nicotine not inhaling it as you do inhaling it. Actually, probably a little bit more. Shoot. Didn't I do that? Okay. That's the halapa. Man, sorry guys, I gotta pull out some more tobacco. You get just as much out of it, and it's more about the relaxation piece, the taking a moment to just pause and enjoy life. The experience of smoking one without inhaling it is just as amazing. Those in the wrong pile. Let's go over here. And I get a reload out her. Okay, let me so. There we go. Sorry for the lack of seeing my hands. When you smoke without inhaling, you get the flip. Yes, you can push a little bit back through your nose, and you get an even. I mean, a lot of our olfactory senses come from what we taste. So that is where, yes, it's just a good smell. It's your favorite blend? Heavy Dominican with a little Honduran. All right, now we're back in the game. Now we got some tobacco back out. We used up those piles pretty quick, and I was kind of shocked. This makes me wonder what eating one of those leaves. It's just like chewing tobacco. Favorite cigar ever? Woo, one of mine. This is one of these called the Casa. Because I'm super original. It's the house blend. It strikes every one of the chords for me. I've smoked amazing cigars that were expensive. I've smoked amazing cigars that were cheap. I've smoked crappy cigars that were expensive. Just depends. But when I find a cigar that I like, I go back to it over and over and over again. And just blow through your nose continuously. Coffee is usually a pretty good. I like to pair with coffee. But you can pair with what your heart desires. I mean, I know some people that just drink sparkling water, and that actually works quite well. The sparkling water ends up doing is clearing your palate. So every time you take a new pull, you get to taste maybe a different nuance of the tobacco that you'd missed on the first go through. Wow, no scrap from that one. Fantastic. That does not happen often. It's going to be a little bit fat, but that'll be okay. We'll make it work. Yeah, my daughter does not smoke. Although I imagine she'd smoke one with me if I asked her, but I would not do that. I want to recommend something with a Connecticut wrapper and something under $15. Other than that, best bet is to go to a cigar store and talk to the folks there, because that's what they do, and they'll ask you a bunch of questions. What do you like to eat? What do you like to drink? That kind of thing. And then they'll kind of point you in some directions. Oh, fantastic. Nice. Thank you. Yes, I would. I absolutely would. Oh. Iced tea works good on a hot day. Be a whole bunch of resin. All right, on. Exactly. Nice and dark. All right. The 10th binder. Got a pile of scrap going over here. This stuff right here, it's called Bermcall. It's a vegetable gum, odorless, tasteless. Doesn't add anything to the tobacco, doesn't take anything away, and it doesn't leave a residue. Some of the other things I've used have left a residue on the cigar that I don't like the way it aesthetically looks. I get 200 pieces, I get on the low. Richmond. I've heard mixed reports about the whole asthma thing. I actually know half a dozen or so people that are full-blown asthmatics, and they smoke cigars. It's the craziest thing. I'm like, shouldn't you be not smoking at all? But they do. I mean, I guess maybe it's because you're not inhaling it. Mikey needs to chill. Oh, Killer, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out. I appreciate it more than you know, my friend. More than you know. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, that would be super helpful, Richmond. That makes sense. It's not as much irritation on the lungs. Yeah, we get that a lot. And I see that is not enough. And I knew it. I reach back, grab a couple of the pieces we just threw in there, build it up to where I want it to be. That feels better. And a little bit more up here. Yeah, that's better. You do this enough times and your hands remember what the sizes are. Your hands just remember. You got to trust your hands. They're your biggest tool in this whole process of making cigars. That's why when you look at a cigar box or something in a store, it'll say hecho a mano or totalmente hecho a mano. Either totally made by hand or made by hand. And you figure for these leaves to get to me, several hundred people have already touched them. Sammy, you're in Ashland? Fantastic, dude. Just up the street. Dominican mostly, but there is some Nicaraguan as well. I use Nicaraguan like salt and pepper. Don, that is an excellent thing. There are cigars that they're called machine-made cigars or short filler, and then they'll be shredded. It'll be this kind of stuff. We have the leftover. And there is a pile of that. That is the first tray, guys. Wow, fantastic. That's 10 cigars. That's awesome. I'll put these in the good old press over here. Turn this dude. Yes, tobacco with tobacco. David, thank you so much. Compacted leaf crumbles. Pack it with some kind of edible glue or something. No, what they do is to keep it from. They use to keep it from sticking together. They'll get the tobacco a little moist, and they'll still have some moisture in it, but not a ton. And then you can roll it up that way. We'll put these dudes in the press. Give them a little squeeze. Right. Well, we got a heck of a mess here. Good gracious. What do you think? Let's keep going. Where are we at? 550 people. Is that short filler? Blah, 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 blah. Bobby, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. It's kind of fun. Hold on a second. Angie, you want to come out, baby? You want to roll? Go ahead. Come on. I'm not going outside, though. Okay. I guess she'd had enough. That's fine. She's just doing her. North, way north. North and west. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, Mojave, yes. We did box presses last week. There's a couple videos in my channel about box press videos. But check them out, dude. They're pretty cool. These won't be ready to pop into the box press. No, I'm at home. Yes, the flavor, the wrapper absolutely affects the flavor. Absolutely. Now, of course, this is dependent upon ring gauge, which is the size of the cigar, and what your fillers are, and what strength you have them at. But the theory is that the wrapper can be up to 60% of the flavor, for what I've been told. Oh, now that we could definitely work out. Trading is perfectly legal, to my knowledge. Wow. See, I'm just very slowly pulling out the center rib. Look at that thing. It's a beast. Wow. There we go. Trying to make sure these are in the right direction. the right side up. Both would be nice. And I found you. Oh, right on, dude. Yes. But unfortunately, when I do a box press on the stream, you get to see me load them into box press, and then that's about it. I'm like, awesome. He's sitting green in the dark shed. The temperature sets it green from what I've been told. It's how they do candela wrapper, which is very green. It's temperature and time. This is so annoying. I threw him in the lawn and they cured. Nice. Went for a sun cured. I can dig it. Oh, wow. Rivers, where you from, dude? Well, the reason my voice sounds jacked up right now is because I have a sinus infection. I'm just getting over it. So I still got the very stuffy nose and enough Sudafed on board to float a battleship. Donald is a combination of both. It is very much a hobby at this point, but it is something I do for side stuff as well. A couple of events, which are always fun. Love rolling live for people. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. That's 8. All right. Yeah, there's no joke, Shaba. It's no joke, dude. It just won't go away. That's the theory. It tends to make them burn a little funky too. Shoot. Uh, 49 is what it is in the room. I prefer to keep, if I'm rolling, I like them about 60 or better. But as far as storage and aging of the cigars, if I'm doing an aging, I like them in the mid to upper 60s. Right before I get ready to smoke, I'll pull them out and let them come down to about 65. But I like them in the mid 60s. That's where I like to smoke them. I have smoked them all the way up into the 70s, and they are lovely. Yeah, it's weird. The humidity will actually change the nuances of the tobacco itself. You get a higher one, the higher the humidity is, it kind of changes it. All right, because we're doing a smaller Vitola, I'm going to have to do some switching around here. Well, first off, I need to clean a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull the big pieces out. And we're going to use the big pieces for the Coronas. Right on, Don. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. We just have a good time. You know what? I'm going to save these for... I rolled a little... Here, I'll show you. These little 29 ring gauge. Round caps usually, Bobby. Unless I'm feeling really spicy, and then I'll roll torpedoes. Torpedoes are few and far between. I kind of save those for special occasions. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Yes, true. Yes, it did. Northeast Texas. Sorry about that. Sell generic cigars, and they're always. Oh, what if that has something to do with the the dryness in Texas? That sucks. They should. I would be hopeful. I don't really have a favorite. If I have to pick a favorite, it's going to be one of mine. I mean, I guess we can do torpedoes instead. Yeah, hell with it. What do you guys think? Torpedoes or these guys? Yes, the 29 ring gauge wrapper is absolutely doing all the work. My favorite cigar size, 42 or 46. This is 42, the Coronas. Torpedo, that's one vote. All right. Torpedoes it is. I thought about rolling torpedoes today anyway. Break out the mold, baby. Break out the mold. 42. Torpedo. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, baby. There you go. All right. Here is the torpedo mold. I affectionately call this beautiful beast the workhorse. Oh, you never seen a torpedo? Fantastic, dude. Let's get it done. All right. These are 54, I believe. All right. No, sorry, 52. They're 52 64s. All right. Let's see. We got our happy binder here. All right. We'll wrap these, bunch these as long as we possibly can. I won't cut the tips of these at all. This leaf is dry, very dry. Beautiful. The 5x50 is typically called a Robusto. And yes, I love Robustos. They are wonderful little half hour, 45. Well, they're supposed to be 45 minutes to an hour, but most of the time it's about 45 minutes for me. That is correct. It's a Robusto. And that's what we rolled before, is what we just finished punching. Right on. I hear you. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4. And look at the coloration in that. That's going to be beautiful. The best way to store is in some kind of sealed container that does not bleed humidity. Not enough to be, Dylan, I don't speak enough Spanish to make it anything other than horrible. I am trying to learn, though. It is the language of this industry. Not to mention, I love the culture, too. Ooh, I like that idea. Like Ike. The weird thing about Chiavettas is I like mine to be quite flexible. I'll show you in a second. Let me finish this leaf. All right, now we got our first torpedo bunch. And I'm going to have to lay some of this back in. I know this. That should be about right. A little over a year. Yes. They do use honey and rum in Cuba. All right, here's where it gets. I've done nothing different as far as this bunch goes. Not a soft spot. Got to go back. And so far, it's been exactly as all the rest of the cigars you've seen me roll. No changes. And then I get down to this last little bit where I feel it start to dive off, where I feel it start to pinch into a point, and then I kind of force it into that point. Then I have to go back and correct the curvature, which you don't actually have to do this. You can just, and I cut way too much off of that. It's okay. All right. One of those torpedoes. These are a little more expensive. These cost me a little bit more to make. These, if I sold them, I'd sell them $15, $18 a piece, just because of the tobacco that's in them more than anything else. How long do all of these last you? I smoke a couple every day, so the ones I roll tonight, I won't get to smoke for I'll let them sit for at least a month. This stuff, you dip your finger in to seal it. Correct, just tobacco. It is a vegetable gum. Flavorless, odorless, tasteless. All the good stuff. Wow. I mean, yeah, I could sell them that expensive, but I mean, after all, it's just a bunch of rolled up leaves. Whew, everything's really dry tonight. Yes, that is true. There are quite a few guys. There are quite a few that roll online. Quite a few. Good dudes. Yes, correct. It's kind of the mold's job. I've seen, there's a video of an old roller making these, and he doesn't make any differences. He just rolls them up, shoves them in the mold, lets the mold do the work. I like that theory very much. Whew. Me too, Danny, me too. The hardest cigar to roll, there are a lot harder ones than this. A lot harder. The diademas, perfectos, Salomons, they're 3 different shapes, 3 different sizes as the cigar moves. And they are quite challenging. In Cuba, only the very best rollers get to do that. The very, very best rollers. Let's see, and the torpedo, from what I've been told, is the one of the qualification cigars for a level 9 roller, or level 8 roller, sorry. So that I am nowhere near that. Realistically, I'm a solid 7. And I'm okay with that for right now. Let's see. Cuban Cafe there. Yeah, right on. What do you do if the leaves are dry? I have this spray bottle. Yes, Don, I apologize for that. Yes, it is screaming by. With this right here, this is just distilled water. You can give them a spray, and then they'll suck up some of the moisture. And that is the easiest way. Now, if you're talking about already rolled cigars, if it's been a long time, you may not be able to recover them because the oil will leach out too. And that's where all your flavor and stuff comes from, is the oils and the tobacco. Yeah. And the last time I smoked a Cohiba, that's about what it cost me. And to be honest, I've smoked better cigars. Nothing against Cubans at all. They are amazing. And back in the day, they were what set the bar, but don't get it twisted. If somebody hands me a Cuban, I'm going to smoke it. I am absolutely going to smoke it. A little bit overstuffed. Yep. That one is slightly overstuffed. It's okay. I feel like I'm getting double leave. Last year, rolling tobacco numbers, 50% shredded in brown paper. Oh, gross. Yeah, the other cigars that are machine made, especially with cigarettes, they put a lot of extra stuff in them that we don't put in cigars. And we will in a few minutes. It's kind of dry though, so that's why we just decided to, I just decided to just bunch tonight. It's so dry that I can't keep the wrappers moisturized very long. And it tends to make the rolls very sloppy, and it feels like I'm wasting wrapper. And as expensive as wrapper is, I don't like waste it. But I'll show you. I can most definitely show you. 2. We will try to wrap some of these little ones. I've got some 29s over here that need to be wrapped up. Should be able to get away with those. They're pretty fast. Yeah, your sourdough will be fine, kiddo. It'll be just fine. Feed it and give it love. That's all it needs. Yep, got one behind me. Danny, I've got a big AC Infinity sitting behind me that's I can't point it at me because it looks like there's smoke. Cigar so long, being constantly and religiously humidified. They are absolutely cared for like small children. Baby them and keep them safe. Try not to let their humidity drop too much. To keep it in that 65 to 69 band. That's great for aging. Anything above 70, you risk mold and tobacco beetles. Which is, we don't want any of that stuff. Definitely not mold. Yep, it's a very tiny little beetle. And it's literally every time you've ever seen a piece of tobacco in your life, it has the potential to have beetles in it. It's a naturally occurring thing. Most of the companies, before they send out cigars, will freeze them. And that tends to kill the larva. That one's right. That one's right. This one's too fat. Actually, I'm going to take this one back out and fix it. It's not going to do right. And I know it. It's not something I do often is open one back up after I've already wrapped it, but this has way, way, way too much tobacco in it. Yeah, larva, exactly, dude. Exactly. Just anything you do, man, it all has. Yes, I will freeze any of the ones we grow. Absolutely. I'm not taking that risk. And that one's now underpacked. Screw it. Leave it alone. It's fine. Okay. No, just cigars. YouTube's pretty serious about the green stuff, so we don't mess with it. It affects the way our channel can do stuff. I have higher ambitions. There is plenty of that stuff, plenty of that content out there, though. No, absolutely not. It'd be the quickest way to get this channel banned, and we don't want to do that. Next victim. Yes. Once they're done drying, I freeze them. And everything is drying out. Struggle is real. The struggle is real. Oh, wow. Dude, thank you so much. Holiday, I appreciate you. Man, that's amazing. All right, cigar rolling tools, sites, and links. Just for normal stuff, take a look at Leaf only, or in all honesty, jump on Etsy and look around. There's a guy named Cody. It's Cigar Molds. I think it's his actual name. He has some nice molds, and he makes chivettas and all the rolling tools that you need. You know, I'd actually thought about that, Adrian. I really had thought about that. I'm sorry, it was Gummy Bear. Oh, it's fascinating how cigars. 7 years of being. Oh, congratulations! That's amazing. Good for you. Man, Holiday, thank you so much. That's just so cool. Yes, that's okay. And that's one of the wonderful things about tobacco is when it's in this form, you can dry it out, and they do. When I get it from my supplier, it is usually quite dry. And then I just squirt it with a little distilled water, and we're good to go. Feels a little heavy, a little bit heavy. Don't really need that. What makes a good cigar? That's a good cigar, to me, in my opinion, gives you the right balance of flavor, strength, and body. It is the combination, the balance. It's the balancing act of just enough power, but not too much. We're just enough nicotine, but not too much. We're just enough flavor, but not too much. Oh, my pleasure, brother. I most certainly will. Holiday, like I said, take a look on, but if you want leaf, look at leaf only or whole leaf tobacco. They're your easy ones to grab. They are definitely your easies. And they got some rolling tools as well. There's some other places, but like I said, Etsy is going to be your friend. eBay is your friend too. No such thing as a dumb question. Right on. Thanks, Adrian. I don't actually have the proper licensing to sell, so I don't. I do share them with friends. And if friends purchase the tobacco, I will roll them for them. I have no issues with that. That's well within the law. That's just helping. And you're not allowed to make any money. That's the deal. And they can't believe that YouTube allows this and it's just tobacco. I would agree with you 100%, Don. Yes, it absolutely. Yes, Gummy Bear, I do cap them. These are the bunches, though. So these are going to go in that mold, and I'll squeeze them probably till tomorrow, and then I'll wrap them in the morning. Well, what I will do is we're going to try to wrap one more time before we end the stream, but it's awful dry. Makes it quite difficult. Makes the leaves just want to collapse on each other or shred like this is doing. Oh, Talon, brother, it is my pleasure. Or sister, I don't know. I don't judge. Should we be friends so I can try them? Definitely, brother, definitely. No worries at all. And if any of you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. We do this every Thursday night, unless it happens to be fall on a major holiday. Yes, Randall, that's a great question. Essentially, all of these leaves can be used for any of the 3 stages. But what you get with wrapper leaf is a much finer quality. See how this has got a bunch of holes and stuff in it? A wrapper leaf will have no holes in it. Truly no holes. It definitely gives you a better perspective. I've used every leaf on the plant to bind and wrap and fill. And sometimes you can get binder leaf that looks like wrapper, and sometimes you get looks like filler. Just depends. Any of the leaves can be used in any direction, but the true wrappers are the perfect leaves, the cream of the crop, so to speak. Check this. You can grow 2 pounds green weight and only 2 plants to do the math. Can't even share this. Wow. That's nuts. Yes, every place has their own. No, I'm in Virginia. You're not kidding, kid. All right. All right. We'll do 2, 4, 5. I think I got a couple more binders. That's true, Nathan. At least you can do moonshine. No, I don't sell these. I can't. Not yet. That time is coming. That time is coming. But at the moment, nope, can't do it. Don't have the proper licensing. Have not done all the paperwork that goes along with it. So we just do this for entertainment and for fun. A little over a year. Dude, I can't shake this. This is nuts. This has been going on like a week. It's been going on longer than that. It's going on 3 weeks now, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I feel fine. I just got the sniffles or my nose is stopped up. I'm like, come on, man, cut me a break. Under this table. We know he does. Perfect. Under the table. The Winchester, nice. Been up there a few times. Never had a bad time up there, that's for sure. Yes, that I can. That is well within the law. It sucks boxes of tissue. The stuff in this container is called Bermcol. It's a vegetable glue, vegetable gum, odorless and tasteless. This one's gonna be a little skinny. That's all right. Skinny will be fine. It's more like a 48. Enough donors. Oh, wow, thank you. Wow, what a huge compliment. And that's actually the paperwork that's currently in motion, Adrian. It is in motion. It just takes a little time getting everything together, making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Don't want to make mistakes when it comes to me dealing with the government in a controlled substance. A Pihique 58. Woo! The largest mold I have is a 55, and I have used it a grand total of 3 times. Not my favorite. It's too big for me. Me personally. Makes Cubans so renowned. It's the mystique. And the fact that years and years ago, the Cubans didn't have to push their farms as hard. So they've kind of depleted the ground a bit. In Colorado, when I visited. Oh, definitely go check it out. Yeah, that did not help Cuba at all. That did not help them. The biggest thing now with their tobacco is they're pushing the soil too hard, not giving it enough rest time. And this is, of course, personal opinion. I've smoked a lot of Cubans, both new and old, and they are absolutely amazing. But the thing now is that you have to let them rest. If you were going to get a true box of Cubans, the best bet's to put them in the back of your humidor for 2 or 3 years and then come back to them. These leaves individually, well, I'm just going to be conservative and say around $30 a pound. And these are filler leaves. Filler leaves are the least expensive. The binder leaf, which is this leaf, is about $20 or so a pound. This specific one, wrapper leaves are anywhere between $60 and $100 a pound. Oh yeah, that's what makes them so much better. Appreciate those. Appreciate that, Alex Puffinberger. I got Cuban music playing in the background. Alex, appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for stopping by. You guys, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done it. I really appreciate it. Like I said, it's just it's a little thing that helps the channel grow. It lets YouTube know, hey, we want to push this guy's content. Wow. Yeah, now I have seen Cubans go for $1,200 a box or more, actually, much more, which I think is nauseating. When we were in Jamaica last time, I spent a little too much, but I bought some Trinidad's and some other outlandishly fancy ones just because I wanted to try them. I'm like, well, we're on vacation, so how often does this really happen? That's not the leaf I want. That is, though. That's right. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. I am in Virginia. Whew, $1,000 a stick? That's ridiculous. I don't care what it's made of. That's ridiculous. The most I've ever paid for a stick was just over $100. And I'm now, granted, that stick was amazing. I mean, wow. But was it worth a hundo? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, nice. I think it's kind of I think Pirates Cove is kind of a thing. No matter, I mean, we all dream about being pirates and swashbuckling and sailing the 7 seas and doing all that crazy stuff. It's just a nice break. Wow. Cal, thank you so much. Sounds good advice on soil. They basically deplete their crop rotation and let cows and other animals roll over it. That is very true. So now it's about crop rotation. It's an ice cream place. Wow. Yep. That's what they're having to push the soil a lot harder than they ever have before. So it is, you're exactly right. It's depleting the soil. Hi. How's my girl? Getting a bunch of tips tonight.
You're getting.
You're getting. It's been very cool. Sorry, Trinidad's are good. Yeah, that's true. They always do. That is true. They all, man, you got home early. That's awesome. The wonderful, amazing wife just walked in behind me. She's taking her time and doing her thing. She just got home from work. Oh, she's over there doing her tobacco thing. There's tobacco farming when I said a 40-acre plot of land with animals, you know. Right on. True. Fair point. Fair point. Oh, and that's Josh. I don't sell them. I wish I could, bud. Look, from what I understand, the soil in Cuba is volcanic. It's and it depends on where you are, too. That's the other thing. Tobacco itself, in its basic form, you have to think about it like a tomato. They're in the same family. They're both nightshades. They both contain nicotine. But what I have learned is if a tomato will grow in it, so will tobacco. It likes well-drained soil and as much sun as you can possibly give it. The more sun, the absolute better. And guys, we've almost filled this thing up here. Almost filled this mold. That's impressive. Impressive. We have been rocking and rolling. 2 more. Tell you what, we're going to finish out these 2. Oh, look at that. The binder bag is empty. Coast of Texas below Houston. Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah, we'll be in New Orleans in a bit. Going down there in April. Yes, pectin, essentially. I'm using Bermacol. Would you explain Virginia tobacco? Where it's mostly bright. We do some burley here too. In some parts of Virginia, they have tried to grow cigar tobacco, and it tends to be a little funky. It tends to not love our soil too much, but I think I've got a pretty good handle, and I'm fairly certain the soil here is comparable. It's very sandy, loamy. I think it's comparable to some of the stuff in some of the Middle Eastern, good Lord, some of the Central American countries. But we're going to give it a shot. I mean, I grew it in potting soil last year. I mean, granted, it was really nice potting soil, but it still did the job. The biggest thing is it's got to have plenty of nitrogen, and the soil has to drain. If it does not drain well or holds water, they will rot. When they lift the embargo on Cuba's last I checked, being in possession of one regardless of how you got one. Native, I don't know. Because there are a lot of people that have Cubans in their collection. As long as they were pre-embargo, or there was a time where there was a time when you could import some, you couldn't import them. You had to go to Cuba and get them. Wow, look, this leaf just crumbled in my hands. Just goes to prove how dry it is in here. Yeah, I can't use that one right now. That's useless. Wow. Now we're going to have to modify this and put a hustle on. Everything's drying out. Dominican and Nicaraguan are what's inside these. What's in this blend. And the wrappers I'll end up using will be Ecuadorian or maybe Mexican. And San Andreas or something of that nature. What? You can bring a personal amount into the country, but not to sell. That was the case. It is no longer the case. You're not allowed. We're back to full embargo with Cuba. There's no importation of any kind for personal or commercial use. And I understand why. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. It doesn't hurt. Anyway, that's a political conversation, and we don't have those on here. We do not like that topic. Tis naughty. It's too divisive. My biggest reason for not allowing that. that anyone would actually follow advice on stream. Comments from a stranger, not trying to insult you either. Right on. Oh, you know, it insulted me, dude. If you know more than I do, that's fantastic. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. All right, what have we got left? It's not completely dried. That would be nothing. Shoot. Everything is bone dry. You might be able to get. Might have to do a little estrujado with these. I'm hoping I can gather up enough of the semi-undried leaf to finish this last one. It is not looking like it. Everything is so bloody dry. Nah, I can't use that. It's just going to crumble in my hands. This should be enough to finish the bunch. Awesome. They cost so much because of the amount of labor it takes to go into from seed to cigar. It's the sheer volume of labor. It's estimated that somewhere between from seed to finished cigar, somewhere between 300 and 500 sets of hands touch each cigar. So it's just the time. It really, truly is just the time and the amount of labor. This is a labor-intensive industry. It is built upon the backs of people that work very hard for their families. And I have an enormous amount of respect for them. All right. Folks, that's 20 cigars we created tonight. 20 in whatever time we've been on. No, Samuel, they do not. They might do it. Crap. Native. Wow. I am truly blown away, brother. Thank you so much. That is amazing. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you next week. Hopefully you'll come back and hang out and have a good time. I appreciate you more than you guys know. Please, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. And we do this every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I usually post a video on Tuesday. Sometimes it's long form, sometimes it's short form. It just depends. But if you guys see something, there's a community and there's a bunch of new stuff that's just popped up today or I'm just learning how to use. But if there's something you'd like to see or I love you too, Blonde. Proud of you, baby girl. If there's something you guys would like to see, just shoot me a message in the community and I will do my very best to make it happen. Merc, thank you so much, bro. So good to see you. Stanley, Samuel, most definitely. See you guys next week. Thank you so much. You guys have a great evening. Enjoy where you are, and live every single day. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. See y'all.